Welcome to Travel Insights Bali number 28. Observe the trigger dissolve. Okay, so here I am. I'm in Bali, and lots of people are coming for the Enlightenment Intensive Retreat. And we've been hanging out. We're having a beautiful time, going places and going out to dinner and just seeing the place, and everybody's going through their different phases of adjustment to Bali and then preparation for the Enlightenment Intensive. And so I'd like to just sort of talk about this thing about being triggered. Everybody gets triggered. And what does it mean to be triggered? So what happens is we call it in yoga a sanskar. And a sanskar is like a memory, or that you've been through this before, but the one I like to talk about mostly is when our bodies feel contracted and we start to feel disempowered and small inside because of some thought that arises. And our external world triggers an unaddressed issue, maybe a trauma that has occurred, but you never got around to clearing it up or knowing the truth around it. So what happens is we've got like bags and bags of these sanskars. They're just sitting in a big pot waiting for the external world to trigger it. But I'd like to ask, like, what is actually occurring when we trigger, and how can we get free of it? So let's say, for instance, the example would be I'm going along, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden I feel my guts contract, and I'm starting to feel, and my thoughts are more negative, or I'm beating myself up, I'm saying negative things to myself. I don't feel so confident, or I feel very, very confused. I'm thrown off by something that somebody said, or how they looked, or it triggered something from the past. That's called a sanskar, being triggered. So how do we handle these? Because these happen all the time, and we have it's built up from not only this life but probably other lives as well. So it's a continuous emptying process as we work on ourselves. So the first thing is, well, who am I in essence? Am I a thing? Am I something solid? And the more I inquire into the truth of who I am not solid. I am always, but it's sort of like, the example that comes to my mind is like, I am the mist. And the mist is always creating different formations. It's sort of like clouds or movement of the air. And the air is always air. The mist is just the same water content, but it's moving around and creating shapes and forms. And we get scared by these forms because it reminds us of something that happened, that maybe we felt hurt, we felt small, we felt belittled, betrayed, all kinds of these feelings that arose. But the fact is, the only thing that's really occurring is the mist. Like, the forms of it are not real. And I'm finding that this is an important thing to help dissolve these triggers that occur, is just go right back to the thing that has no shape or form to it. Like, the mist itself is non-formed, but it has the power to create a form. But the thing is, like, am I separate from the formation of it? Am I the mist that can go into forms and then dissolve back into something else, or go back into formlessness? Like, let's just check that, because how we get free of triggers is the only way, really, is to go back into that place or that truth of non-formations. And so if I keep remembering as the form is going around in circles and confusing me, throwing me off, and me getting scared, I have to focus on the mist quality itself. And that is who I am. So whatever is coming in front of me is not true. Because remember, it comes into a form and then it changes into another form and then it dissolves and then it comes back, like clouds. Well, maybe that's what we are. Maybe we're just the substance of a cloud, and the clouds are changing. Now, are we going to get afraid of the clouds? Am I afraid of my own formations? Well, that's the thing. When I get triggered, I have to remember this. Because when I remember that I am unchanging and that the forms will come and go, but the substance of the form is actually who I am, then that is actually what releases me of this feeling of smallness and contraction. Do I want to believe that? No, I don't want to believe it. I have choice to not believe the formations that are coming my way. So if I get triggered, somebody says something, and then all of a sudden my whole body starts to contract. Well, what do? I go back and I remember that who I am is uncontractable. I can't get contracted. Mist is mist. I can formate. I can create formations. But my substance is, there's nothing in my substance that can actually contract. So that is an illusion. Anyway, I hope that helps. Next time you get triggered, remember that you're like the mist, that nothing happens to the mist. It just is mist and it starts to formate. And so you can watch the triggers come and go, but you don't have to get caught up in it, and you don't have to believe the form that it's projecting in front of you. Okay, thank you. Hope that helps. Bye.